first order of business is what transpired this weekend. The debate over the dangers of court storming has been reignited this weekend after a player for the University of Duke was injured following their loss to Wake Forest. Demon Deacon fans from Wake Forest stormed the court as the clock struck zero in their victory over the Duke Blue Devils. 7-foot center Kyle Filipowski was hit several times by fans running by. He was ultimately helped off the court after hurting his leg in a collision with a fan. Filipowski had this to say. Look at it right here. Quote, "It's just really ridiculous how that situation is handled," Filipowski told WFMY News after the game. "I absolutely feel like it was personal, intentional for sure. Like I said, there's no reason where they see a big guy like me trying to work my way off the court and they can't just work around me, you know? There's no excuse for that." Shortly after, he tweeted, "This gotta change." Let me say this. Court storm has been going on for a while. Looking up, reading from my notes, I remember in 1961, point guard Larry Brown was playing for the University of North Carolina at Duke Cameron Indoor Stadium, went in for a driving layup in the last seconds, was bear hugged by a Duke player. Ultimately, fisticuffs ensued and fans ultimately got involved. I remember Bill Self, the championship coach for the Kansas Jayhawks, nearly got pummeled when fans stormed the court after he had lost the game. I remember one time when somebody was in a wheelchair and was about to be stampeded and had to be lifted up and helped off the court by a player or two. I remember that happening. This is not new. And a lot of people are making a big deal of it, as they should, because it is dangerous. It is played out. It's run its course, and change definitely needs to happen. But I think it's important to understand why it needs to happen. It needs to happen because a younger generation, as wild as it could be, still used to act within bounds, still used to act with a level of decorum and a level of respect that we don't see from the younger generation of folks in this day and age. When we talk about respecting our elders, we don't see that anymore. You've got young whippersnappers out here don't give two shits about anybody, about how anybody feels. And it's going to take a collective effort on everybody's part, the institutions, law enforcement, the media, and beyond, to really invoke and ultimately implement stiff, stringent ramifications for one's actions and transgressions. That's really what it's going to come down to. I'm not trying to sit up here, act like some old head or whatever the case may be. I'm just talking about people not having any regard for any rules and regulations. And repeatedly, I state this over and over again. Anytime any kind of change has taken place in any society, it's usually provoked by young people. Why? When we look, I'm in the media business, and I'm on linear television every single day. And we see people talking about direct to consumer and that's the future, that's the wave of the future. We see all of these people with these digital platforms trying to get in on the action to make sure somehow, some way they could profit off of it and they could find themselves doing this job. We see all of that happening. But guess why it's happening? Because young people are always about doing what they want to do, when they want to do it, how they want to do it, with whomever they damn well please, devoid of any kind of ramifications whatsoever. They march to the beat of their own drum. And the reason why direct-to-consumer is ultimately popularized and it's really taking on a life of its own, because guess what? You don't have to watch something at 10 o'clock or 12 noon or 3 in the afternoon or 5. You can watch it when the hell you want. You don't have to watch it on a big screen television. You go to Best Buy or someplace else to purchase a television on. You can sit up there and watch it on your phone or your iPad or your laptop computer. You can do all of these things. The ability to do what you want, when you want, how you want to do it, in the fashion that you want to do it, devoid of any true ramifications, is something every society has to deal with, because younger generations on the come up, that's how they like things. But that doesn't mean that the old heads in charge don't need to make sure to put their foot down and to understand and to show and display there's ramifications for everybody's actions. And if college institutions aren't willing to do it, shame on them. But I'll tell you why they're not willing to do it. It's because of money. You ever see some of these security folks, these people getting hired for security? Old, pot-bellied individuals, senior citizens, could barely walk, damn sure can't run. And I'm not engaging in ageism, and I'm not throwing anybody under the bus, and I'm not trying to be insulting to my elders or whatever. But you get older for a reason. You can't do the things that you used to do when you were younger. It's that simple. and to have them in a security role. What the hell are they going to do when you got hundreds of kids stampeding out of the stands onto the court? How in God's name are they going to stop them? You need some younger, vibrant, strong, healthy individuals who are security, who, dare I say, can put you on your ass if they have to. That's what you need. But that costs money. And college football ain't about giving money away. They're about taking and soaking up as much money as they possibly can, which they've proven to us time and time again in terms of how slow they've been to make sure that ultimately NIL was in existence, transfer portals were in existence, student athletes getting compensated for their efforts and the revenue they generated for particular programs. You see how slow on the uptake it was for them to get to this point? Everything comes down to money. Nothing is free. And that's really what this is about. There's no way around it, y'all. There's no way around it. So I'm sorry that Filipowski got hurt. Hopeful and thankful that it doesn't appear to be as serious as one would originally have thought, even though he had to be helped off the court by his coaches and assistant coaches and some of the players. We get that. But in the same breath, you know something else? Here's another solution. Get security, which is younger, stronger, but also have them surround the visiting team. In most instances, when a court is being stormed, the home team that has won, they have the support of the home crowd. And they're soaking up all that adulation and celebration. It's the visitors, who's the rival, who's the losing team that's usually in danger. Protect them first. And make sure come hell or high water, you have them on the court. You surround them on the court and escort them out. That's what you do. That's the best you can do, y'all. You can talk about outlawing folks. What you going to do, keep everybody on the court? Give them all citations? Give them all fines? Think you'll be able to pull that off? Think they ain't going to cause mayhem? You think you got enough law enforcement officials or off-duty police officers or security personnel that's going to be able to police that? I don't think so. I don't think so. Spend the money to upgrade security. And by the way, when you storm the court, you got a license to get knocked on your ass. And you can't sue anybody. That'll go a long way. Trust me, deterrents come in various forms. As we bring up Chris Rock and Will Smith, you notice Will Smith didn't slap Dwayne Johnson. Notice he didn't slap Mike Tyson. Notice he didn't slap somebody like that. You know why? Because size and brute strength matters. There's a whole bunch of people out there with size and strength on them looking to get paid. Give them a job of security and give them a license to whip somebody's ass. I promise you, deterrence will kick in.